L2 is a high-quality limiter, level maximizer, and high-quality digital requantizing plugin that can be used in a variety of tracking and mastering applications. The requantization is achieved using an instance of Michael Gerzon's IDR, or Increased Digital Resolution, ninth-order noise-shaped redithering process. Though the technical level of algorithm control is deep, the graphic user interface is elegantly simple. L2 includes Wave's ARC, or Auto Release Control System, previously explained in the Renaissance Compressor movie tutorial. First, a bit about IDR. This redithering process offers 2 dither types and 3 noise-shaping curves for processing a wide variety of audio applications. This requantization is for all bit depths, including 24, 22, 20, 18, and 16-bit outputs. IDR prevents the loss of critical low-level detail in an audio signal once it has been digitally processed, even with a plugin. L2 is a stereo-only plugin, and a mono signal must be bused to a stereo aux to be used with it. L2 as a limiter is very powerful due to its ability to look ahead of the audio signal and adjust the attack time accordingly to offer a very fast response that is free from any overshoot. It is truly a brick wall limiter that should in most cases be used last in the signal chain, whether used across the mix bus during mixing or mastering. The usual function for L2 is to limit the transient peaks without audible artifacts normally caused by conventional compressors and limiters. You can apply liberal amounts of reduction before hearing the artifacts of the limiter. You can then use the output ceiling fader to set the ceiling for the brick wall limiting imparted by L2. Let's check out the controls. L2 is divided into basically 2 sets of controls: the limiter control section and the IDR control section. Since L2 is a look-ahead limiter, there is no attack control. It automatically analyzes each sample and responds dynamically according to the audio signal fed through it. The threshold control is similar to standard limiters in that it chooses the level in which the limiter begins processing the incoming signal. When you leave the out ceiling fixed at the maximum value, 0 dB digital, and lower the threshold, you will notice that the signal will get louder. Most music has transient peaks, and using the limiter in L2 to affect these peaks is a great way to increase the overall output of the mastered audio. Click on the provided slider with value field and drag up or down on it, or anywhere between the stereo input meters to adjust the threshold. You can also, in Wave's standard protocol, type the threshold value directly into the field. Also, the input meters are the standard infinite peak hold style with peak fields below, and as per usual, you can click anywhere in the meter area to reset the peak hold setting. Next is the out ceiling fader and output peak meter display. It sets the final ceiling output level for the processed audio. The maximum setting is digital 0. Being a brick wall limiter, there will be no overshoot, and you should be able to leave this set at 0. I like to set this down a half dB or so just for those old inexpensive CD players that may be playing my mastered product. Sometimes they have inexpensive digital to analog converters that can be digitally clipped with an extremely strong signal. Adjust this control in the same fashion as the threshold control. Note, you can link the threshold and output ceiling by dragging in the arrow marker between them as shown. The release control is next, and you should engage the ARC button at all times that you aren't trying to achieve a pumping or distorted sound from the limiter. It automatically adjusts the release time based upon the dynamics and speed of incoming audio. I generally deselect the ARC button and approximate my release time range with the fader, and then select ARC again. You can also type in the value when ARC mode is disabled. Lastly is the attenuation meter that is a peak hold style like all other Wave's meters and is also reset in the same fashion. Here is where you will visually monitor the amount of reduction to your audio. Make sure to use your ears for the final judgment of processing. Next are the controls for IDR. Bit depth is first, and as previously mentioned, there are settings for 24, 22, 20, 18, and 16-bit outputs. This covers most available delivery formats to which we might deliver our mixes. Next is the IDR type. The settings are Type 1, Type 2, and none. Type 1 is designed for no nonlinear distortion or modulation at low levels. It combines optimal dither noise with psychoacoustic noise shaping. It is commonly used for CD mastering and should only be used once, as if it is applied multiple times in succession, it may produce unwanted audio artifacts. Type 2 also uses dither with a similar noise shaping curve. It adds less noise to the signal, but only at the expense of some low-level distortion. It will be a judgment call to choose between Type 1 or Type 2. Next are the noise shaping options to reduce the audibility of added dither noise. Moderate, normal, ultra, and none. Moderate is mainly used for 8 or 12-bit files, but can also be used to affect 16-bit files too. Normal is the standard recommendation for most uses and all bit depths. Ultra is a high-quality setting that should only be used in the last stage of digital processing. Later editing and processing may experience some side effects such as digital clicks and pops. This doesn't mean that it's not possible to use this setting. None chooses no noise shaping added to the signal processing. Let's increase the overall level while limiting some of the transient peaks of a song we are mastering with L2. Make sure to A/B the mastering process.
Spoke to me the other day, then a devil did the same. The angel told me to kneel down and pray. The devil said don't play his game. Well, I took my time, then I said I don't really listen. Speeches from the dead. I got my mind to use instead. I only reason with the light that shines inside my head. A crazy psychic lady called to me. I know your birthday and your name. She said there's trouble in your future.
Make sure to check out the movie tutorial for L1 Ultra Maximizer for related info, as well as the user guides that came with your plugins for more useful and technical info on L2.